All right, welcome back to Thrive America. I'm your host and joined by very special guest, CEO and co-founder of Axiom Franchise Advisors, Bill King. Bill, it's been a pleasure having you on our show today.
Glad to be here, Brent. Thanks.
If you've been watching the past segments, you understand that what Bill does in a nutshell is an entrepreneur matchmaker, like a dating service. Bill helps the entrepreneur get matched with the franchise that best suits the qualities and passion and DNA makeup of that particular person. We talked a little bit about the financing, and if you want to go into the route of getting a successful franchise, what kind of financing options are available to you, and why right now during this economic climate we're in is there's some fantastic opportunities that the franchisors are offering to help you finance your dream. Then we talked about some of the myths that are associated with getting a franchise and how you need to have a reality check at some point. And this is something that we can't maybe go into too detail in the show, but this is why Bill is around, because you can spend your whole lifetime in the wrong industry or trying to figure out the right franchise. And what Bill can do for you in 4 or 5 days flat is figure out what the best fit is for you. And Bill, I understand your services are free.
That's the good news. Well, I try to avoid using the word free, but instead I'll explain to you that we work like a real estate buyer's agent, where we would represent your interest, find that property that you're interested in, make the offer on that property, and if successfully concluded, the seller of that property pays for the buyer's agent's representation. Mm-hmm. So it's no different in our business. The good news being that the client never incurs any cost, nor does it add any expense, not one penny of additional expense to the acquisition of the franchise.
Mm-hmm. And what I'm learning from you, Bill, during my interview here is that you've definitely sold me on the concept of being honest and doing your due diligence with each potential entrepreneur, in a sense. From what I understand, is that you help match that person. You don't just say, okay, there's a franchise that's doing well, go own it. But you take the time, and if I was your potential client, I'm sure we would sit together and we would really map out my strengths and my weaknesses and figure out what industry you would want to put me in. I'm ask all my guests this question, or I'm starting to, as our theme is Thrive America, and our theme is this: we want to help the business owner to thrive in this economy, and we want to ask each of our guests what's their advice that they can give you from their frame of reference, their opinion, their expert advice on how you can help a business owner. So, Bill, I'm asking you, what advice can you give to our viewers on sharing your experience, strength, and hope to thrive in this economy? Not just survive, but what can you tell us? What can you tell me and our viewers on how to thrive in this economy?
Well, I'll do my best to answer that. And I think the first suggestion that we would make to a client is to adjust your mentality. This is not a time to think in very traditional terms. That doesn't necessarily suggest you should abandon all processes and evaluatory things that you would normally use in the course of making a business decision for yourself. But we're in unusual times. These are unprecedented circumstances. And what we might suggest is that you look for those kinds of opportunities that may, in this kind of a challenging economic environment, actually perform better than others. We mentioned in one of the earlier segments that there's a number of franchise categories that still maintain a high demand perspective regardless of what's going on with your stock portfolio. Home repairs, you still need to maintain your homes. In fact, we might suggest that you need to do a better job of that now than at any other time, particularly so if you're preparing that home for sale. IT services, people can't exist without having functional IT services in their businesses and in their personal lives as well. We talked about companies like hair cutting. Appearance and feeling good about yourself are still very, very important things. Mm-hmm. And you're not limited just to those, but our point would be that you'd want to spend more time looking and evaluating and understanding why those businesses are actually going to do as well, if not better, than others in this kind of an environment. Then we would tell you to do a more thorough due diligence than maybe what you would otherwise be prone to do. We'd ask you to talk to more people that are in that business and ask what their experiences are. We would tell you not to limit the resources that you would use beyond looking at the FDD, which is an acronym for the Franchise Disclosure Document. That's a starting point. As voluminous and as good and helpful as that document is, that is not a thorough due diligence. So we tell any client that if you're putting this kind of money out there, that you want to get to a place where you are absolutely comfortable. And then we would tell you to bring in at the appropriate time in that process some trusted advisors. They should include always a franchise attorney to review your agreement to make sure that what you're signing is what in fact you understand and what you expect in terms of the reciprocal performance between you and the franchisor. Wouldn't hurt at all to have your CPA look at this business model and offer some opinion. Understanding these people shouldn't make the decision for you, but they should evaluate from their particular area of expertise and offer that opinion. Even working with a good financial planner, maybe the best way to acquire that business is different than you had thought. So we would suggest that you follow a very orderly process and a thorough due diligence process before you would jump in and make that final decision.
So what I'm hearing you say here is that in order to thrive in the world of purchasing a franchise, you can thrive by really thinking about what your passion is, what industry you're going to choose, doing some due diligence, and bringing in a team of people so when it's time to make that decision, everything is clear for you and so forth. So ways to get in touch with you if I was interested or one of our viewers was interested in talking to you, is there a fee around that? What's that process like? How can you help us?
Well, absolutely. If you'd like to get some more information about our services, please visit our website. That's probably the best place to get an awful lot of great information to start. That's www. One long word here, Axiom, AXXIOM, franchiseadvisors.com. Please visit the website. You'll see all of our consultants there that are scattered all over the United States, and we'll be happy to engage you and begin to answer any questions that you might have about our process and how we might help you.
All right. So once again, thank you so much for coming on our show. You really brought to light your perspective of franchise ownership, and it goes great in the fact that we've brought a lot of different consultants on board who have advised us on if you own your own business, not a franchise, but starting your own business. So having you come on the show and give us that perspective, I think creates a really good balance on Thrive America. And so you have options. If you have a passion that doesn't necessarily fit in the box of a franchise, pursue that. If you want to walk into a franchise that has a successful system in place, an operational manual, so you can kind of hit the ground running, then a franchise might be the right choice. But there's other options out there, and talking to Bill is free, and it's something that I know you and your team are passionate about seeing your clients thrive in this economy. And there's go back and take a look at some of the other segments, and you'll learn more about why now is a great time, and some of the franchisors are offering some really good opportunities. Not revealed on our show, but that's something that when you call Bill, he can educate you on and so forth. So take some time, and if you're in a situation now where you are thinking about owning your own business, give Bill a call. Get in touch with him. And Bill, thanks so much for coming on our show. Hope to see you back real soon, and good luck.
Well, thank you. It was great to be your guest.
All right.